right? Like I've seen women who hold like, let's say even if they're 5'5", they might hold like 150 pounds really well, even though they're maybe like thicker because they just have this like really tiny waist and, like good proportions. And I've seen other women who,
Yeah, like I think that goes with a lot of muscle groups. You can just see some people it inserts in a way where it's just always going to be big. Like you see Dorian Yates after like 8 months of training, he looks incredible because his lats insert like stupidly low
mm,
near his hips, but then also stupidly high up like out in his arms.
yeah,
And so like it was always going to be a fucking big back. Like
yeah,
you can listen to him for back training, but like he could have done a lot of stuff wrong and still gotten a fucking huge back
yeah,
just based on his genetics and how everything inserted just because it's more it just covers more area based on inserting in certain places.
yeah,
And yeah, that
yeah.
would
And I mean,
definitely
that's
be enough to.
it's so important in terms of like overall shape. And what's funny is you see that with like women as well in terms of what a lot of guys find, like a desirable female physique, right? Like I've seen women who hold like, let's say even if they're 5'5", they might hold like 150 pounds really well, even though they're maybe like thicker because they just have this like really tiny waist and, like good proportions. And I've seen other women who, like, unfortunately for them, like I seem to have six packs, but blocky waist, and it's just tough. And with
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
there's like this kid at my gym who I can't imagine this kid is more than like a buck 60, but just all of like the classic insertions and everything that if he puts on 15 pounds of muscle, he could literally compete and do well because of how
yeah,
it inserts.
yeah. No, it's the waist size and then just how everything is put together. Like, Chris Bumstead could never work out a day in his life,
Mm-hmm.
and he just has that the wide shoulders and then the narrow waist, and like he could probably be like 30% body fat and just have a
Yeah.
dad bod, and he would still look decent,
Yeah.
right? Because he would just carry everything well. And other people, they're in really good shape, but they just, it's just everything is
Yeah.
proportioned a little bit differently,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And that's almost all just genetics.
Yeah.
I'll see some people and it's, they have really narrow shoulders and then like a blocky waist, and
Mm-hmm.
then they send me their goal physique, and
Yeah.
it's like this fitness model with
Right.
just the most amazing V taper. And I'm just like, no, there's nothing I can do
Yeah.
to write in your plan which
Yeah.
can not a magician, like I can
Right.
optimize your program, but no program, not even like a surgery or something or steroids is going to
Yeah.
really cause the same effect. So in that regard, you know, genetics certainly are really, really
Yeah.
important,
Well, that's
especially at the
why
highest level.
I I don't know. Like it bothers me when people say like, oh, well then just do this. Like for instance, like with the wide waist thing, right? So like I'm fortunate in that I have wider shoulders, but I also have a wide waist. And some people will say, oh, well, who cares if you have a blocky waist? Just get bigger lats, get bigger shoulders. And it's like, yeah, but proportionally, it's always still worse than if you had a narrower waist, right? And same thing, like you could say, with you, like I think you said that you do have a very tiny waist, relatively speaking, but I think you have like a narrower upper torso and shoulders, right? Like relatively, is that right?
Yeah. So I haven't measured like my clavicles or anything.
Hmm.
Um, but certainly I've seen some people who just clearly have, you know, significantly broader shoulders.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's really
so the
interesting
only thing
when,
the only thing giving me a V taper is the small waist.
well, yeah, which
Without
I
that,
was shocked by how tiny yours was because you sent me a picture, which was definitely the
ew.
softest I've seen you. And it was like, I don't know what you would put your body fat at, but I would have said, I don't know, like 20% or so. What do you think?
Yeah, no, spot
Eh,
on. I would say 20%. I did a video saying I'm 20% and that's okay. Because like
yeah.
apparently for a lot of people in the fitness industry, it's like, oh my God, the minute you're over 15%, it's like
Yeah.
you're a criminal, etc.
But you still
And
have like almost a 32-inch waist in the morning, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy,
But
dude.
I didn't realize how special that was because I always
Oh
thought
yeah.
like 30 was like typical, I was just figured like it was just normal.
Yeah.
So anything below 30 is bonus points, and anything above 30 is like not good.
Right.
And so yeah, I didn't realize that until like I actually talked to more people and got
Yeah.
more
No,
into it.
man. I
But you
have
don't
to
realize.
get like a full on six pack to get a 32-inch waist. I know Lane Norton. Now he's particularly blocky. When Lane's like
Yeah,
contest lean, he still has, I think, like a 32 to 33-inch waist, he says.
yeah,
I think Abel also had about a 32-inch waist at 180. So to be like 215, 20% body fat, I mean, that's ridiculous to have a waist at 32.
yeah. I didn't realize like um I measured with a vacuum at like 26. And so my goal is to get equal sized legs and vacuumed abs
Upper
when
thighs.
lean. Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
I hit 26 today. So but when I diet down
Thighs.
they'll yeah, thighs. But when I diet down, I'll probably lose an inch. So I'll need to get 27
Hmm.
at least.
Where do you measure the
Um,
thighs?
yeah, so I do measure pretty high. If I measure exactly in the middle, it might be half an inch less,
Hmm.
maybe three-quarters of an inch less. But that's just where I've always measured it. So I try to
Yeah.
keep it consistent. But I think the standardized way of measuring it, and that's the thing, like for the biceps, it's obvious, like, oh, just measure at the
Right.
biggest point. Like no one's gonna measure halfway up and
Yeah.
shortchange themselves, right?
Right. Right.
Um, if anything, you like most people will try to like go sideways or something
Yes.
to like I've seen
Yeah.
some sideways measurements on camera.
Hmm.
But for the thigh, I'd always measured like maybe three-quarters of the way up.